fourth.
Yes,
So have you completed all your assignments?
not all. I'm on the third one, but I will after this class I will try and complete all before the next class because I've been busy with some stuff all this while. That's why.
Okay, but usually you're meant to complete every assignment before the class. Even though you're unable to do it, but you'd have submitted what you attempted to do. Even given the fact that it's even a link to a repo you're submitting, so you can always continue to make changes to it. So far, any challenge, any issue?
Yes, no issue actually, no issue. I'm flowing well with the class.
Oh, nice. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
So what's the last thing we did? What are we going into today?
I think what we are supposed to do today is using E2 to create a friend management system.
What's the outline, the course outline, like the topics that we're meant to cover?
Um, is it as in relationship, and I've forgotten how to put it in that, but it's all about.
Relationships. Because I knew relationship was last 2 weeks. I mean, last week Thursday, last week Tuesday was relationship. So
Yeah, I was supposed to do that with Tuba, but we couldn't complete that.
you're supposed to do that with me. You dropped off the call before we got to that point. Maybe Tuba wanted to repeat it because she was also in the class that day that you dropped off. Before we got to relationship, you had already dropped off the call. So probably that's why she wanted to retake it. So what did you take as that? Can we have your screen? Can you? Because I'm not on my system now. I didn't even expect to join this class. So can we see? Can we go through everything and see what you've covered and what you have to cover?
Yes, I'm having a little bit of challenge with my system right now because I was trying to connect with it. I'm on this call with my phone, waiting for my system to boot up. I don't know.
Your system is not coming up.
It's coming up, but it's taking a lot of time to boot.
Oh,
I connected with it previously, but the network was not okay. So I had to switch it off and switch it. I connected with my phone, then I had to switch off my system and switch it on again. But it's taking a lot of time to boot, but it's booting up.
okay, that's fine. So let's. Oh, there's no way I can get. Oh, yeah, this one. So. Hold on, please, so that we can hear each other. I don't know who this one, sir. This kind of nonsense noise and be disturbing the whole community. Yeah, okay. So, uh, okay, so nice. So, have you, how about implementing the authentication system that is registering and logging in? Have you done that?
I did that on
Hello?
the yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I did authentication and login and on the to do app that I did in the previous class.
So, I think my network. Is it because it's
Can you hear me?
Bincom?
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you. I think my network is giving issues. So,
I did
you're saying what you were.
authentication and the login in the previous class that I did the to do app. I did authentication on that. I added user authentication. That was the second assignment.
Okay. Did you connect to database or are you using static data?
I connected to database.
Okay, so your users are on your
Yes,
database.
yes.
Hello? Okay, so
Yeah,
when you
I can
register
hear.
your user, fine. If you've done that, that's nice. Uh, so basically, you said today we are doing what? Friends app. Or what
Yes,
app did this?
yes. A
Okay, now
friend management app. That is the assignment I'm doing currently.
oh that's that. Okay, so that is the assignment for last week. Okay, so okay, so basically, let's look at the Friends app. I'm sorry, my laptop. I wasn't prepared for this, so that's why I can't join with my laptop. So, but let's see how we can work this. So basically, now for a Friends app, for what do you think? What would you need to do for a Friends app? Right, first you need to, from all we've done previously. First, we need to create our projects running Composer, create ye and the command for creating the project. Then you create your project. You can name the project Friends app, or whatever choice of name you want to give to it. So basically that's the first step, and I'm sure you've done that already. Then another thing you will look at is uh now you first create your table of tables. Maybe you can have a table of tables. You would have a table for users, definitely, because that's where they will be registering, saving the user data. So you have a table for user. You might choose to have a different table for profile, or you might still use the same table for profile. Then you would have table for friends. You'd have table for chats, you'd have table for messages, you'd have, okay, let's not take it too far anyway. Anything you can do, it's okay for you to do it. Then basically, the next thing after creating the table, the next thing you want to create, all this I'm saying now, we've gone through them. So if you're having any issue, anyone that you can't, let me know. Now, after creating our table, the next thing we want to do, we want to create our models, controllers, and our views. And like we said in our previous class, that we can use the GII magic tool to do that. We just open the. Have you used that? Have you used that before? I know in the last class we used code, right?
Yes, I use that in the app, in the to do app that I added user. I use that to create a model for. for
Okay,
the
perfect.
for user. Yes.
All right. So the same way you can use that to create model, you can also use it to create controller. You can also use it to create. I wish we were on a system now, so we just get our hands dirty on that. So we can use it to create the forms for our various views. With the magic tool, we can create all this in just a minute. In the twinkle of an eye, we have all our models ready, we have our controllers ready, we have our views ready with the GIS. Right, so now you use your GIS, you create your model for your table, your controller for the various actions, then your view for the various view file that that we will have. So that's what we use the GI magic tool for. Then you can also run the command line also on your terminal. And we've also used that approach before. I know that was the approach we used in creating our models, controller, and the rest. So you just run the command to create model with the resources, the controller and the resources, or just create them anyhow you wish. You can do that. So after we've done that, the next thing is um now registering and adding friends. Then where relationship will now come in is where uh you need to relate something to something. Like probably you have a friend on your friend table, but his details will not be on the friend table. Maybe one or two things, or maybe on your chat table. On your chat table, you might just have ID. You would have a user ID. You will have a friend ID. You would have your conversation or any other thing that you want to have. Do I have any running app like that? Okay, yes, I do. So basically, relationship now is what you use in fetching the data of your friend instead of using usually SQL. You have to be using join and this and that, which will make you to be writing long queries. But in relationship, all you just need to do is to go to your models and create a relationship between that table and the table where you need to get details for, referencing the what is it called, referencing the foreign key on the other table. Is your system on yet?
Yes, it's on, but I'm trying to connect to the internet the same way I was trying to do before I switch it off. So I'm waiting on
Mm,
that.
okay, because I really want us, because in programming talking does not really help much. It's when you are doing the practicals that's when you're actually growing. If you are just listening, it's not a good idea. It's not always helpful.
Yes.
So basically, so so that's what relationship is all about. So I might have my chat table and I have my friend ID, but on my chat table I cannot get my friend details like his name, his profile picture, his age, anything that has to do with what is on the user table. All the details I collected on the user table, email address, phone number, would not be on the chat table. But I have a chat with him and I want to get all his details via our chat, because basically that's the only place I can get his details from. Except there's another route where maybe my friend's route where I can get all my friends. But if I want to get this person I'm chatting, what am I chatting with? I want to get his name. I want to get his email. The only thing, if you go to the database table, you would only see the user ID of that person on the table. Now, for you to retrieve all the detail that are related to that ID on that chat table, which is the user ID, which is referencing the ID on the user table. So you would on your user table you would have ID. That one is constant. A is always, you must have your ID, your unique identifier, which is your ID. It will be on the user table. Now on your chat table, what the foreign key you will have there that, to access your user table, that is referencing your user table, would now be, you can name it, you just name it user ID. User ID. So if I'm chatting with user ID 1 and I need the details between user ID 1 and my user table, because if I just return everything on my chat table, like you are creating a chat box, you are creating a chat box, right? And you have your, what is it called, list of people you are chatting with. Let's say for instance WhatsApp. Now WhatsApp, you have people you are chatting with, then you have people you are chatting with, then you have to see their chat. Okay, let me use WhatsApp to explain this. You have to use each one of I have Tunji, Abdul Kazim. I have all of them. Now I would open Kelechi now to see my chat with Kelechi. I would open various this thing to see my, so for that now I will have a table called conversation. Now the conversation is where we now have, it will now be related to the table that would open each of our conversations. So I might say I might have a table. No, I would have a table named chat. On that chat, I would have the conversation ID. I would have a conversation table. I would have a user table. I would now have a conversation ID and a user ID. On that, I don't know if you understand. On that chat, I would have on my chat table. My network has gone. Hello?
Yeah, I can get you now, but your network was bad a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry. So on my chat table now,
Hello?
go to the model for user and the model of chat and the model of conversation. In there, I would create a relationship between these tables. I'll create a relationship between the user ID, the user ID colon on chat table with the ID colon on user table. I also create a relationship between the conversation ID colon on chat table with conversation with ID colon on conversation table. So now when I want to list all my chats would have IDs. The ID colon would already be populated with the various IDs of who I'm chatting with. So I'll pull all those IDs. But now to get their names and number, if I want to put their names and number on the chat, I'll now use that relationship to create to link to link to my user table. Then I'll retrieve my username. That is why it will not be possible for WhatsApp to list all your chats with the names of the person you are chatting with. Now to now get the conversation for each of the chats. Now I have 5 chats on my on WhatsApp. Now I want to get the conversation for each one. Now on my chat table I already have the conversation ID, which I'm using to save every conversation that I'm having with this particular person. That is to say, I'm chatting with Kelechi. Kelechi conversation ID will be 1. So if I go to that chat table, try to access chat ID 1, it will now link to all the chats on the conversation table that has ID 1, chat ID 1. Then that is the chat. Only those chats will now be selected to populate my conversation on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp view, on the user interface. It will select, because of that relationship that I have stated that this ID is referencing this ID on this table. When I click on Kelechi, it look at the conversation ID on the chat table, then goes to the conversation table and look for all conversations that have that chat ID. It will pick only those conversations and return to me. Doesn't mean each of us will have a different conversation table. All the conversations are on the same table, but each conversation will have different ID. It's now the IDs you will now use to pick all those chats that belongs to this person. It saves you lots of, maybe some people would have, maybe in the olden days you will now be looking at creating different table for different user. This user should be, this one has saved you. Relationship has saved us a lot of things. That will now be calling, if you've been using PHP and MySQL for a while, you will now be running join dot b table A table B, join this, join that, join that, join that, giving you a lot of headache, writing a lot of code. But with relationship, just make it very simple. All you just need to look for is the ID that is referencing this ID on this table. Finish. It will just go and pick all related charts to that ID. Make it makes relational data very easy to access. So when I have for the one of okay, for instance, again, I have a user table and a profile table. Now on my profile table I'll just have a colon name user ID. So if I want to fetch the profile details, that is maybe on my user table, there are some code base, there are some database also you will see that they would have user, and they will have user table and they will have profile table. Why? Because the profile might be much. What they are getting, they will get company details, your work. There are some people that have, there are user profiles where okay, it's not this just your user profile where you just have name, email, phone number, profile picture, finish. There are some profile that will detail everything about you, lot of details about you, your BVN, your bank, this, your NIN, lot of things. So those ones usually have a profile table different from the user table. So basically, on the user table, like would always have an ID. So ID2, maybe ID2 is Kunle. ID2 now on the profile table, we would have user ID colon, user underscore ID colon. So if I try to look for ID2, which is Kunle, I want to get other details of Kunle, which is not on user table. I can't get those table on the user table. I can only get I can't get those ID on user table. I can only get those information on profile table. That way, I would now call user ID2 on profile table. It will go on the profile table and
Hello,
look for.
hello. Can you hear me on this system?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll now go and look for user ID2 on profile table. Then I would now fetch my details for Kunle using that user ID 2. It will go to the row user that has user ID 2 and fetch all the details there. And it knows that this details belongs to Kunle. Why? Because it's Kunle that have ID 2 on the user table, and on my profile table user ID user underscore ID 2 is definitely for Kunle. That is called a one-to-one relationship, because there can only be one profile. But for that case of that chat, for the chat now, we would have one-to-many relationship and one-to-one relationship. One-to-many is to say that Kunle can have many chats. So now that your system is on, let's go ahead and let's can you share your screen? So let's just quickly have a practical using or let's even look at, have you seen the course outline now? Hello?
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
can you still hear me?
I was on mute. Sorry. Uh,
Okay.
should I
Yes.
share the screen now?
Yes, share your screen. Can you access the what is it called?
The
The
course
this thing
outline.
now. Yeah, the course outline.
Okay, let me check it on this.
Let's see what we doing today so that we can quickly cover the solve there. What we did last week and today. Relationship and whatever it is for today.
Okay. I'm sorry, my system is becoming very slow these days.
Maybe the workload. It's the workload.
Yeah.
Is it on now?
Yeah, I'm logging into my LMS.
Uh,
Can you see my screen?
Oh, hold on, please. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so let me rotate my screen so I can see this properly. Okay, basic three, basic of applications. We've done this now. Okay, collective pagination, filtering and sorting, response format, negotiation, introduction to modules. Hmm. Modules will be another time. Okay, so we've already done the basics of the application. Definitely. Go to let's say two. Go to contact section two. Overview of the creating models, active record, and relationship with the user and identity management. Okay. You go to one. Sample there. You for that. Okay, so basically we've finished one. Go to two. Overview of this creating models active record. Is the active record we are currently talking about.
Yes.
So we just do one application of it and we are done with it. User and identity management. You said you've completed that one already. You've even used it to complete your assignment, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say that is gone. So let's quickly wrap up on what was the thing? 357. Let's quickly wrap up on the relationship. Let's take one example for the relationship. Then then quickly move to pagination, filtering, and sorting. That one won't take us time at all. Response formats, various response formats, definitely JSON and listen. So, so let's go to your code base. Let's go to VLC. Let me see. VLC. Okay. So, um, where are you on your what is it called? Where are you on your friends app project you're working on? So
I
let's say how we connect and use application between them.
I just connected. I just created database. I just created
Okay,
a
then
project.
let's
Created
use
database.
your to-do list. Your to-do list is complete, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's use your to-do list. And your to-do list has it has hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, no, not you. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so is this have you opened? Is it your to-do app?
Yes.
Okay, so let's check out um your database.
Okay. Is it the migrations?
No, no, my PHP my admin. Go to the admin, the user interface where you
Okay.
see your.
Okay. I have not actually switched on my this thing, my exam.
You've not seen your exam.
I have not turned it on.
Okay, you've not turned it on.
Yes, I'm turning it on now.
I,
The only problem I'm having with this framework is
yeah.
uh, the way it confuse the way I learnt about Laravel a lot. So doing this, like there is
Then what?
confusion on how everything flows. Like
On our workflows. Is they
like
are similar. They are similar now. Basically,
yes,
the
but
only
The
The only
routing and
difference, huh?
the routing here. You,
Yes,
you
it's just the routing that, and you shouldn't even be confused about the routing because I think it's even easier with ye safe, isn't it?
it may be easier when I learn about it more, but for now, the memory of Laravel routing makes everything more confusing. Yeah. But when I study more about it, maybe I will find out if it is easier.
Because basically, I think we already had this conversation before. Basically, you just need the controller to have the same name as the view folder.
Yes,
And then you
yes,
just need the actions to just have the prefix in front of them, action, then name. So that is, but when it comes to Laravel, you have to go to the, if it's route you are using, you have to go to the web route, the web folder, go to route, then write your route, that double colon, get either whatever method, get push and get post, put the rest, then your controller, then your action. It's still the same thing, but now you have to go and declare it in your route in Laravel. But yeah, inside your controller, you're already declaring the route by just adding. So that action keyword basically does everything for you. Everything you go into your route web to do,
yes,
everything is being done inside. Just simply adding one word action. It just it I think it's on that it's a bit easier, but basically I don't you won't be using this much. Probably you would only be using this for some of the projects we are running on Bincom. But outside Bincom, I don't really I don't think you'll be using more of Laravel. Because
yeah,
Laravel every day Laravel is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's Laravel basically that you really be
yes.
uh,
Another thing here is the model. The model here is not the same as that of Laravel.
yes, a bit different, the rules, the attributes, all those things. But in Laravel too, you have your rule. It's just different implementation.
Yes,
That's just different. But as long as you understand object orientation, everything is still the same thing. It's still basically your object and your classes that you are dealing with. So that's it. Is your this thing on yet? Okay, yes, on it. Okay.
the the XAMPP is up now, so
Okay.
I'm trying to open the PHP my admin. So
Okay.
my system is annoyingly slow this time around. So
You need to offload some things off it.
okay, It's like the models almost do what controllers do in Laravel. Is it correct? The models do like
Mm,
they do almost like what controllers do in Laravel.
like carrying out actions.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a couple of actions also that you would always have on your Yi model, right? Like for instance, especially because you know why? Because on the various controllers, you want to call a particular action, and you can basically just call it from the Yi model here. There are some these things that are repetitive that you need to that will be used on different code base. Let's say for instance, user, right? So
Yes.
just all you just need to do is to have your user here, and you can access the user from any controller or anywhere. You just by referencing this model on that particular uh controller or wherever you want to make use of it. So that's why you have some actions like that, but it's not like a lot of actions. So actions that you know you use across the application. Mm,
Okay.
like like fetching user details from a model, a particular get user. Those are the kind of things you see in model get user. So you can always use get user by okay, let's say you are in a model uh user, then you put out your double colon, then you put the get user, then that's will help fetch the details you need from anywhere that you want it.
Okay.
Or still almost the same thing as importing also, because in Laravel also same thing as you also you can still import where you want to use anything and you still have access to it. But it's still best this way because okay, like for your tax now you might want to get a particular this thing for tax and you don't want to keep going over it in different places. All you just need to do is to call tax and that method in the tax model, and anyway you can always use it. Okay,
Okay.
since this guy is taking a while to go, let's just proceed. So now we've looked at the let's go to your let's go to your view file. Let's go to your view file. Okay, this guy is up already, sir. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So we have our user. We have our use. These are our user, right? Username. Yes, these are our user. What tables again do we have?
Is it tables or columns?
No, tables that we have. This is your to-do list now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So
In
what?
the we have to only user and to do. Then the other one is migration that was automatically generated.
Okay, perfect. Okay, first let's quickly go to the view, and see it was saying response. So now we've been returning our web view, right? At the same time, we can also return JSON. JSON, like in Laravel, I believe you know you can return JSON in Laravel, where you just want to use data or something, some data that you would need
Ye-
on the page.
Yes.
Mm. Same thing when you are working with APIs. In APIs, you are not returning any HTML, you are not returning any web page. What you are returning would only be JSON. That's why
JSON.
anybody that
Yes.
wants to make use of it will just call that API endpoint and get the no but nothing concern anybody how your web page looks like or just what you would need that will be passed to you. So that's basically what they're talking about when they're talking about the responses for that. So since you already have experience with that, let's proceed. Or should we take an example on that?
On JSON or what?
Returning a JSON.
Yeah, maybe we should take an example on that.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to your controller.
Okay. Is it site controller or to do controller?
Uh, let's go to do.
Okay.
Okay. So we have let's take a look at list where you are listing all your index, right? Index.
Yeah. Is it on the view?
No, on your controller here, the action index.
Okay. Action index. Yeah, here.
Okay. So now this here is returning uh is rendering the index page with parameters passed to it. Hold on, please. I don't know who is knocking at this. I don't have strength to go down. All right, so now let's look at this is our tax. Okay, right. So now let's go to. Let me do this. Let me write this. Then you. Let me write. I need to join it with my. Let me join the meeting with my system and share this. So, so two ways we can render. We can either render the page view or we can throw a JSON file. First, let's do this here. Before search mode on line 41,
Yes.
yeah, press enter on line 41 and try to fetch all data from your to do table. How is your table like? You have to do.
I have to
Can I
do
see your
table.
data?
Yes. Okay.
Where are the tables? Okay, to do table, right? So can you
Um,
return? Can you return the list?
like I should
Return
return it
everything.
to the
Yes.
code. In the code. Yeah.
So let's first divide here. Need to do is if you want to create a new one, you use this where you want to create. Yeah, to do find. Yeah.
Username social activity.
No, just find all. Remove the where. Wait, what? I like this your browser is I see your browser, your editor. The way it's
This
giving you.
this is it co-pilot? I wanted to disconnect it, but I don't know how to. It's
Why do
forcing
you
me to use.
connect? Make it fast now? All the things you would have
Yeah,
typed now, it has already done everything for you.
yeah. The thing makes me to, if I'm learning new things, it doesn't allow me
Okay, okay,
to
okay.
think about it. Yes,
So if you are working
yes,
on a real life project, this is an added advantage. You'll be so swift.
yeah. When I'm
Okay,
working with Laravel, I usually
remove that space from find. No, don't delete. Leave all everything. That this guy find bracket, find bracket, find
okay, okay.
bracket. Uh, I don't know if it will affect, but this is a I right. So save. So let's dump the response. Did just like you do on Laravel, yeah. Let's see what it returns. So let's go to let's go to your browser. Let's see.
Can you see it?
All right, perfect. Hold on. Mm, yeah, yeah. Okay, now let's do this also. Go back to your code base. I just want to get something before. Um, line after line 42, I need a new line. Uh, create another variable and let's. Okay, just leave it. Don't create another variable. Leave it. Let's still use the same to do. So add return as an array. Remove all before all put as array.
At
As no as
as array.
yes. Yes, that's it, yeah. That's completed it, yeah. Okay, now let's see.